Oh, hello. This is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. For today's video, I would like to first tell you a story about shrimp fried rice. Ever since I was a child, I really love shrimp fried rice. About 25 years ago, I met this person, which I will call him Mr. Ling for the purpose of this video. He was a contractor. At that time, he was renovating my mother's old apartment. My mother passed away about a year before that, and at the time, I was getting the apartment renovated, ready to put it on the market. Mr. Ling and I became friends, and he invited me to his home for dinner. I remember that dinner very well. It's as vividly as it is yesterday, because Mrs. Lin was an excellent cook. Her dishes were relatively simple. They're not complicated at all. But one thing that stands out for her cooking is that everything cooked just right. That evening, the dish that appealed to me most was the shrimp fried rice that she made. And this is by far the best fried rice that I have ever had. The reason that I like it so much is the texture of the ingredients. They were just cooked perfectly. What stands out particularly to me was the shrimp. Now, usually when you cook shrimp in a shrimp fried rice, the shrimp tend to be overcooked. But in her case, the shrimp was just absolutely perfect. I still remember that night she also included asparagus in the fried rice. Now, I've never seen people put asparagus in fried rice, but that asparagus tastes just as fresh as ever. Another amazing thing is that the dish was very lightly seasoned, but it is extraordinarily flavorful because of the ingredients in expressing their natural flavors. That shrimp fried rice has been in my mind for a long time, and I have been trying to figure out how I could reproduce it. In this video, I'm going to show you how I cooked this shrimp fried rice to the best of my ability. I don't think it quite matched what Mrs. Lin has done as far as I could remember, but it came very close. So before I describe the way how I think Mrs. Lin cooked this fried rice, I will first tell you how I normally cook fried rice, which is what most people do. So normally when I cook fried rice, I start out with the rice first. I stir fry the rice for a little while, just heat it up, and then I create some space in the middle of the wok. And then I will fry some egg in the middle of the wok. Shortly after that, I will mix everything together, and then I will add other ingredients. I will add whatever I would like to include in the fried rice. This will include different kinds of vegetables and different type of meat. But in general, is that I want to add things to the wok that could either cook quickly or they are already cooked. And now the problem with this approach is that when you cook like this, everything kind of tend to cook together, and you really do not have a whole lot of control of the texture of each individual ingredients. What happens is that at the end, everything tends to blend together, and you do not have that culinary experience of all the separate items that might be in the fried rice. Over the years, I have learned the importance of textures of food ingredients, and that is what makes a good dish. For example, you do not want to overcook vegetables such as broccoli, green bean, or cauliflower, so they become too soft and mushy. The other example is that also very important in texture is different type of meat. You don't want to overcook chicken so that they become dry, or you don't want to overcook shrimp so they become hard. So when you cook fried rice using what I would call this traditional method, you really do not have a lot of control of the texture of individual ingredients. So based on my observation of what Mrs. Lin has done with the fried rice, I realized that she must have cooked each individual item separately, and then she would mix them all together at the end. So this is what I'm going to do for this video demonstration. So for cooking this dish, I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to season the wok in the beginning before I start the cooking sessions, and I'm going to use my spot seasoning method. If you're not familiar with the method, you can take a look at this video. I'm going to cook the different ingredients in the order of what I perceive to be most likely to stick to the wok, because I'm going to cook that first, because as the cooking go on, the seasoning will gradually lost. Because the egg is the most likely to stick to the bottom of the wok, so I'm going to cook that first. Now this is an example of how I'm going to control the texture of the egg, because I want the egg to be relatively firm so I can taste it distinctively in the fried rice. I crack the egg directly into the wok because this way I'm able to separate the egg white and the egg yolk. So as you can see toward the end, you can distinctly tell the egg white and egg yolk after it is being cooked. So after I cook the egg, I'm going to set them aside. Now, as you can see that the wok is still look really good, so I don't have to wash it. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to cook the shrimp. For the purpose of this dish, I have cut up the shrimp into the size of the tip of an index finger so it will blend better into the rice. And furthermore, I have cooked the shrimp with a cornstarch to give it a slight crisp texture. The shrimp is very fast to cook. In fact, it is done in about a minute. And then I'm going to set them aside. As you can see by cooking the shrimp separately, I was able to control the texture of the shrimp exactly the way how I like it. The final ingredients I'm going to cook is the asparagus. Again, I'm not going to wash the wok. As you can see that the asparagus cook really fast. In fact, it only takes about 30 to 40 seconds. But this way, I will be sure the asparagus has the kind of texture that I would like. This step is particularly important to me because I do not like asparagus to be soft and mushy. So okay, the next step is to assemble all the pieces together. I start out with first cooking the rice in the wok. I use about 4 cups of cooked rice. Now it is important that the rice has been stayed in the refrigerator at least for about 4 to 6 hours, preferable overnight because wet rice will not fry very well at all. At this point, it's just a matter to warm up the rice. At the same time, I want to fry the rice slightly so that it has some crunchiness to the rice. It is also important that you make sure that you have enough oil in the wok to prevent the rice to stick to the bottom of the wok. After stir-fry the rice for about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm ready to add the other ingredients to it. First, I add the egg, followed that I add the shrimp, and then I add the asparagus. I mix everything together, and at this point, I turn the heat to low because I do not want to overcook those ingredients. And then I use a hand grater. I grate some carrot into the fried rice. It's mainly for enhance the color of the rice. After stir fry for about another 10 to 15 seconds, the rice is done. At this point, you can season the rice in whatever way that you would like. I decided not to season the rice because I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of oyster sauce. This will make the rice relatively light, and that is the best way to taste the natural flavor of the shrimp as well as the asparagus. The dish is done, and the total time is about 10 minutes. It's a little bit longer if I have thrown everything together all at the same time. But this way, it provides me a little bit better control, and that extra 2 minutes is really worthwhile to me. This fried rice by far has to be my all-time favorite. I love shrimp, and I love the texture of the shrimp when it is done perfectly. When it mixed with the rice and the asparagus, this comes out exceptionally well. To me, this is my go-to dish, and this is my comfort food. Anytime when I feel depressed, I want something to give me a lift, I will make this fried rice. And every time when I eat this fried rice, it reminds me the memory of in Mr. Lin's home, sitting there and enjoying the fried rice that Mrs. Lin has made. So as you can see, flavor chasing and template-based cooking really goes hand in hand. When you use template-based cooking, you have the flexibility so you can apply flavor chasing to find the best flavor and texture that you would like in your dish. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below because this will help me to broaden my audience base. I'm now posting regularly, usually 1 video each day. And if you'd like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.